Hello, welcome to my Floss tube number 2. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for everyone who watched my first Floss tube. I did not expect 140 views or however many it turned out to be, nor did I expect to get some nice comments and subscribers and things like that. So thank you all so very much. Gonna put it out there. I half did this video and then realized I had the camera on the wrong orientation, so I had to start it again. So I'm going to feel like I'm repeating myself, but that is fine because we love talking about cross stitch. So we can keep talking about cross stitch on repeats. So the last time that I did a Floss tube, I was about to head over to Sydney to go see Taylor Swift, which I did and was fantastic. Just the best. Like, I can't even really, people ask me, how was it? And I'm just like, no words. It was not a concert. I keep saying it's not a concert, it's a performance. I love musical theatre, and a lot of the stuff that they do for the scenery and stuff like that, like I was just transfixed with all of that kind of stuff. She's obviously amazing, right? Like everyone knows that, you know, her 3.5 hours and all the little things that she thinks of to include, and especially some of the littler things, like she added some very Australian things into it. Yeah, it was just amazing. So I went over with a friend, Kim and me, and we had such a good time. It was so nice. We didn't make a lot of plans apart from the concert. We were only there for a couple of nights, but it was really, really nice to just kind of chill, to spend time chatting, relaxing without feeling like, oh, I've got to be here and I've got to be there. We had to be there for the concert, of course, but we didn't really like rush around or anything like that, so it was really quite nice. So yes, but I've been home a couple of weeks now and yeah, no, it was all really, really, really good. So had a ball. I would highly recommend to anyone who has even the faintest interest in Taylor Swift and is contemplating going to her concert, just go do it. Do not get to the end of your life and think, oh, I wish I'd gone to that Taylor Swift concert. It's just not worth it. I'm very big about life experiences. Just go do it. Even if you have to go by yourself, even if you've got no one who wants to go, just go, because it was just so worth it. So yeah, so that is the my social life aspect of the Floss tube. Let's get on to Floss tube or cross stitching stuff now. So I actually have a significant amount of haul to show you today. So we will show you that in a moment. But what we will do first of all, I'm just going to have a sip. I feel like I've got a cough. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to talk to you about my whips, but I should say whip, because I literally only have one ongoing project at the moment, which is kind of bizarre. Not that I do a huge number at once, but usually there's like 3, maybe 4. But yeah, it is down to just one at the moment. So, which means I need to go start some things, which is why we shopped. So I'll show you the first one, well, my current whip. So this is by, I wonder if there's a way I can do this. Yeah, I think we'll just do it like that. Try not to show the pattern. So this is a Sal, so a stitch along, and it is by Modern Folk Embroidery. It's called No Time Like the Present, and it is gorgeous, right? Like, look at that, like the colors, and I love this clock piece with the like the night behind it, the reindeer, the squirrels. So you can see this is all done in blue and red, and he has you know, it gives you a couple of other color options that you can actually go with as well. And, you know, I can't do anything like a normal person. So, get rid of that light. So I went for different colors. So I kind of talked about this on my last video, that I had been in a store, and in a local craft store, and I had seen this yellow. It was a DMC color, and I was just like, oh my god, I've got to have that color. So I just went and brought 11 strands of it, 11 skeins, with no real intentions what I was going to do it at that point. I just knew I wanted it, and I just really liked it. So I didn't show you this last week, but I thought I'd bring in the colors to show you. So it's actually DMC 3855, and it's such a nice yellow. Like, it's, I keep calling it mango. I don't know if it's a mango color, but it's like, it's not a gold, it's not lemon, but it's a really pretty color. And look, to be honest, yellows, and I'm a real pastel, in case you can tell from my clothes, I really like pastel colors, girly colors, things like that. So yellow is not something I would normally be drawn to, but I really was drawn to it. And then I also had, initially, I was going to do this pattern in 2 tones of blue. So I had a couple of blues, and so one of those I decided to actually use with this pattern, which is this blue, which is 931. So it's probably, the color's probably a little bit more faded out than it actually looks on the screen. So if you actually look at them side by side, they just go together so well. Like, I love them. So where are we up to? Well, we have made significant progress, I'm happy to say. So when I showed you it last time, I was, so because it's a stitch along, it's, you know, a proportion every month. It goes from January to October. So we're now up to March. I was partway through January. I think I was getting close to January finish. So I've now finished January, I've finished February, and I'm into the 2nd, 3rd of March. So, here it is. Oh my god, I love it so much. I love how, if you look here, how you stitch the background and then the picture of the flowers comes out. So you're not actually, well, there are parts where you do stitch the flower, but a lot of it in this section here, for example, you're not actually stitching the flower itself, you're stitching around it, and that creates the picture. And I just love it. Like, it's just the best. And you know, at night when you're tired, you know, after work, doing a fiddly, changing colors all the time, or a very big, overwhelming piece, I'm too tired for that, to be completely honest. I have a very full-on job, and I just can't deal with it at that time of night, to be honest. But this, because it's just 2 colors, right? So at the moment, I'm stitching all this section here, this blue. So I can just pick up the blue and just sit there all night for 3 hours, which is what I've done the last couple of nights, and just stitch to my heart's content. So I love it. Like, it's easy stitching when it's just, you know, monochrome or just a couple of colors like that. So that is where we're up to. A couple of people did comment and they were like, no, stick with the yellow, keep going, looks really good. And I have to say, I love it. I think when you look at it, like, there is a lot of yellow there, right? No denying it. There is a lot of yellow, but as you can see, the blue is going to take up actually quite a proportion of it. And I think once it gets finished, it actually will all balance out. The animals down the bottom as well. So there was a deer and a squirrel on each side. They're also in the dark blue as well. So I think by the time you get all those pieces together, it actually will look really good. I actually think it looks, without bragging, I actually think it looks stunning. So I'm absolutely loving the stitch. If you've considered doing it, just go do it. Like, really go do it. I really like Modern Folk Embroidery. They have I think his name is Jacob, and he has a channel on YouTube. He doesn't upload that often, but he has really informative videos. He does a lot of reproduction of samplers, and his stuff is just stunning. So this is not the last of Modern Folk Embroidery I will be doing. There's a couple of others I already know that I want to do. But yeah, so I'm loving it. And yes, everybody who commented, I am definitely sticking with it. We are completing it. And this one is going to get, I know I'm going to frame this one. I have no idea how, but, or you know, what frame it will be or whatever, but I'm definitely going to finish it and it's going to be framed because I am absolutely loving it. So there is that one. And then when I did my floss tube last week, I showed you, or not last week, a couple of weeks ago, I showed you this pattern, which is Humming of the Bees. I really love it. It looks very, kind of the colours look quite muted when you look at the picture on the book. And I think I showed you this as well, that I had brought some material for it. And that is it's Fibre on a Whim, and the colour is Cream and Sugar. And so this is the material. You can see it's kind of got that little bit of colouring to make it look kind of antique-ish or old stained kind of look. And then, since then, I also got the colours for it. So here are the colours. So they are Weeks Dye Works colours, they are Colourworks colours, and they are, there was someone else, Simply Shaker, Colour Stay, Colour, yeah. Anyway, these are the colours. So they're kind of autumny, muted kind of colours. So you can see, if you compare it to there, they will look really good. I love it. So this was going to be my next start. I'm debating that at the moment because I have got significant haul, and there's a couple of items in this haul that I'm like, I think I need to start that like now. So I haven't decided yet what I'm doing next. So it may be this blackbird one, the Humming of the Bees, but I will show you the rest of my haul. And we will see what I end up doing. I probably won't decide today, but I'll decide over the next few days. So that's my whips. That's what I've purchased in relation to the one I showed you last week. So I thought I would, since I had done a few purchases, I would talk just a little bit about a couple of the stores I brought them from. Get that most people here are America, but in Australia, there's not a lot. There's only a couple of stores that people really ever refer to, and there's some other gems out there. So I wanted to kind of just share them for in case anyone from Australia does see the video. But also, there's lots of purchases here that, all the purchases you can get in America, I know that. Or maybe one you can't, but unless you pay for shipping. But so the first purchase I got was from a little company on Etsy, and they are called Number 12 Stitch Co. And I brought my first, what's it called? A floss drop, I think it's called. So it's this, and I'll try to get it so it's not glaring. Okay, so it is actually made of brass. You can see in the picture, it's a little cat sleeping on the bookcase, and you can't see it really, but behind it here is actually a little brass clock. So in fact, I will open it and show you. So it's super cute. first time I've taken it out. It's quite heavy, right? It's really well made. So there's the little clock. Yeah, so it's super cute. Oh my God. So cute. So cute. So I got that. Now the website, the Etsy site that I got this from, and they are called Number 12 Stitch Co. So it's number as in Number, the number 12, 1, 2, and then Stitch Co. So I got that. This is not the first time I've purchased from them, it's actually the second time. And they always include those little labels that you can put on the back of your framed pieces of work that say, you know, who stitched it, on what date, etc. And so they gave me a couple of those, which was very nice. And then I also had to buy a pattern because, you know, you don't shop anywhere without buying at least one pattern. That's just a rule. So I've really gotten, I love samplers. I love everything vintage and samplers. Like I should have been born in Little House on the Prairie. Like that time period, those dresses, the clothes, doing my needlework. Me and Laura Ingalls would have been buds, I reckon. Good friends. Anyway, I diverge. I really love all the samplers and everything like that are out. And I've really taken to Plum Street samplers. So there was one I showed last Floss Tube, which was the 2 raccoons. It's just very small stitch, which I can't show you now because I've actually sent it off to be made into a cushion. So that was my first one of Plum Street samplers. And I've now got my second one, which it's called My Heart's Welcome. And here it is. Now, I think this is actually pretty popular, this one. I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if it was on Brenda and the Serial Starter or a different Floss Tube channel recently, and like in the last week, but someone had this and they were saying that she's carrying pineapple there, and she's taking the pineapple to her neighbor. So they had another cross stitch pattern that they were kind of saying was matching. I don't think it was matching, but yeah. So there is that. And I love it. I do really love the smalls. Like, they're good for after work, like in the evenings. You know, like I was saying before, I don't want to do overwhelming things or anything like that. And like this one would be a perfect one to do in the evening. Like there's only 8 colours in it, so you're not going to be changing over your colour heaps. Like especially like you look at the house, you could just do all that blue in one night. So there's that. So love it, love that shop. She's given me really good service every time, super fast delivery. So I've been like really happy with it. So there's that. And then I did 2 other, well actually I've done numerous purchases, but I haven't actually received everything yet. So the next purchase that I did is from a shop called A Stitch in Time, and this was my first time purchasing from them. They have amazing stuff. Their site, I love it when you go to an online store and searching for the stuff is easy. You know, you can go click on a link which has all the blackbird designs, or it's just presented in a really nice, easy way. I'm more likely to shop there if I'm honest. If it's not a well done site, I get frustrated and I'm going to leave. So anyway, the site was really good in that regards. And I really went there looking for one specific pattern. Now, I have been looking at this pattern for about 4 months, and I did a little bit of research, and I believe it's actually by Hands Across the Sea, and I believe this was one of their releases for the 2020 Nashville markets. And it is Sarah Milthrop, 1834, The Loss of Time is Much. And it is just, Oh, I just love it. I don't know what it is. I think it's like, I really like backgrounds with like bright colors and where the crispness of it really comes into play. I love it. Love it. I love the house, the trees here. I love that there's actually a significant amount of like red, and it's pretty much red and green and like a gold color predominantly throughout the pattern. There's actually not a heap of colors in it for a sampler. There's 15. But yeah, like I said, I've been looking at this one for so long. I've never had a hands across the sea one before. That's a big version of it. I really want to start this one soon. And I don't know what it is about samplers. Like I love stitching them because I like doing the single elements and I feel like I'm accomplishing little goals quickly. But I also, and I love the thought that I'm doing something that someone did in the 1850s or the 1820s or something. And then I also love the companies that do the research into the history behind it. So I love getting the book and reading all about her and etc. etc. So I haven't sat down and read it yet. I just noticed that in the book is actually a card which actually has all the colours on it, and then it's actually like an information card. So on the back it's actually got, you know, all the details for stitch by, the address, the linen, stitch count, any modifications, etc. So I love this so much, and I'm not going to show you the pattern obviously, but it's coloured. And it's large, which I like as well. I really appreciate that. Not the greatest eyes. I wear glasses. I use a magnifier plus a light. I've got it all going on so that I can keep stitching. So yeah, so this was why I went to a Stitch in Time, because I wanted this pattern. And it's in Australia. I couldn't find it in too many places, to be honest. And then I came across a Stitch in Time. I'd also heard about a Stitch in Time on someone's video. It's a male from Sydney. I've got a feeling, I can't think of his name right now. Yeah, I can't think of his name, but he had been to a Stitch in Time, and that's where I heard about them. And then, so then of course you go looking, right? And I found something that I am like obsessed with, and I've never been a season stitcher. In Australia, we don't celebrate as many holidays and have the same patriotness, I think that's the word, patriotness, that Americans have. We don't have July 4th. We don't celebrate Halloween, all that. We don't have Thanksgiving Day. We have Christmas and Easter, kind of. We do have other public holidays, but they're not the way America celebrates. And I've never done Christmas stitching. In all the time, I've never stitched anything Christmas. Now, last year when everyone was doing the Christmas stitching, I was like, I want to do like a vintage Santa Christmas pattern. I have no idea what one, no idea at this stage. And I don't have a desire to do a modern Father Christmas, but I was thinking I do want to do like a vintage one. I don't have that yet, but that is a plan. But this is something that I'm about to show you is Christmas orientated, and I'm thinking I'm going to start this in July for Christmas in July. And it is by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I just love this so much. Like I cannot, and it is, I'm sure people have seen this one. It's called Welcome to the North Pole. And this is it. It is, oh my God, it is so gorgeous. I love it. It's again, kind of this whole sampler thing that I love of the, you know, you've got these different elements that you do. And in fact, on the pattern, each of these rows is like a page. So you kind of are doing it, but I love this green. And it's that crispness again. Like I love things against white or light colors. And I know this pattern is on a darker color, but even just this blue where it's actually got North Pole against the white, love. So yeah, this is a definite one for this year. And like I said, I think it's going to be a July 1 start. This again has really nice big pattern in color as well. And I actually I can't show you because I don't want to show the pattern, but on the bottom of each page, it actually has a section for notes. So, you know, you can write your little notes in there. It uses Gentle Art, Weeks Dye Works, and Classic Colorworks colors, or the DMC. I think I'm going to actually use the called for colors because if you look at it, I don't know if it's super obvious, but you can see the variegation in like, especially this one, like the sleigh. And where else was I looking? And even in like the little, I think it's a girl, her pants have got the variegation in it. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the called for colors. So we have to go purchase those. And I cannot go to a local craft store for that. I have to do that online. So that is a future. But I just love it so much, like just so much. And I love the book. It's just done so well. So there's that one. Oh, and the stitch count is 100 by 257. So you're probably looking at about 26,000 stitches. Yeah, but I love it. So that one's by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And then the last one is a Blackbird Designs book, and it's in Friendship's Way. Now on here, what I really like is, where is it? Of course, I cannot find it now. This is a lot of smalls. It is predominantly a lot of smalls, but there's this one in here, and I would not do it as a button box, and I would remove the wording button box, but how cute is that? I don't know that I'd put the buttons on either. I don't think I would. I would probably do it, but this box, I think you can get it from Hobbyworks or something. No, Hobby Lobby. We don't have Hobby Lobby here. So it probably would be quite hard to get a box for it. But I don't know, I just love it. I love how it looks dirty and on the top of the house, and then the little bird. So cute. So yes, so there's that one as well. So those were my purchases from A Stitch in Time. Anyone from Australia who is curious, you can Google A Stitch in Time. They are located in Tasmania, but I got the shipment really fast, within a week. I'm trying to think when I think I ordered it last Wednesday night or Thursday, and then I got it today. No, I didn't. I got it yesterday, actually. Sorry. I tell a fib. So I got it within 7 days max, but it was probably more like 6. So there's that one. So that's A Stitch in Time. And then the other purchase that I actually did was through a site online called The Stitches Merchant. I actually was looking at, there was some stitch along I was looking at, and you had to get it from The Stitches Merchant, and that's how I came across them. Anyway, I didn't get that, but I brought a lot from them. And in fact, on the invoice when they sent it to me, they actually put a note that says lovely stitching choices, Karen, which is kind of funny. So let's have a look. Sorry. Also, they wrapped this up so nicely. It was wrapped up in this paper. I won't show you because I don't want to make a whole pile of noise and annoy people's ears. But it was this paper that looks like newspaper, and it had all these like articles about different things in Australia. So it had an article about Steve the Quokka. So the quokka is I think it's a bird in Australia. And then it had a little story about the MCG, which if you follow Taylor Swift, that's where she performed in Melbourne. Then it had like a story about the Queenslander home, which is a home that we have here that we call the Queenslander. And it's a home that's actually built on stilts because it's in an area prone to floods. So it just had, like, it was just very vintagey looking, which I love, tied up with brown string. And it had a little Floss drop card attached to it as well. So I was super impressed by that. But let's have a look at what we've got in there, because there's a few purchases. So the first thing that is in it is by Blackbird Designs, and it is Honeysuckle Manor, and this is gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous. And here it is, look at it. Oh, I love it. So it's a reproduction. I love it. Like, I really, really, really love it. But there's a lot of, in this book has a lot of small pins, like pin cushions and things like that. So it's got that one, which is actually really nice. It's got a house there. It's in like nice, that one's all in like pink tones, which you can tell I like. And then it's got a few other, like it's got some patterns for like a vintage pinball. What else does it have here? So that's like a little, you see how you've got like your keys and your threads hanging off it? And then, so that's called a Stitcher's Companion. And then there's some other ones in here as well. Oh, here's another sampler. That one's really nice too. I like how it's got all the black and then it's just got a little bit of the pinkish. That's actually really pretty. So that one's a Margaret Harris 1877. So we got that book. Then we got, this is by Teresa Kogut, and I follow her on Patreon, but I had never, I think I follow her on FlossTube as well. I feel like she might have a FlossTube. But I've never purchased any of her stuff or seen any of her patterns or anything. But I saw this pattern and I was just like, yes, please. So it has a little sentence or phrase on it which says, when you see this, remember me. And it's called Remember Me. And oh, look at it. It is so nice. Like, I just love it with all the, like, again, like, you'll get a theme here, like the soft pink colours, the dusty pink colours with like the greens. Just so nice. And you've got it against this cream or this white, no, it's a cream linen. That whole crispness that I keep talking about. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. When I talk about crispness, my role for my job, I do project work in relation to outbound documents. So I look at pictures and images and things like that all day, and that's all I'm always like, I like the crispness of that. So I get very focused on crispness and sharpness and the color and everything like that. So because it is part of my day-to-day work. But yeah, I love it so much. And I love that, you know, not to be morbid, but we are all going to pass away one day. But that whole, when you see this, remember me. Like, I would like to think that my niece would get this. once I've passed, and that she would then, you know, always remember me. The pattern, again, I think I said it earlier about one of them. It's all in colour and it's really large. So I love that. She's also got on the back page some other patterns. Now this, which one is it? This one here is very American, so it's a very patriotic one. But there's two others. So there's this one, which I love. And that one actually says, let love reign in your heart and home. And then there's this other one. Can you see it? This one here, come to the garden. So that one says, come to the garden, thy senses shall be overjoyed. So yeah, so I really like them as well. And let all thy words and deeds be sincere. That's on the back cover. Yeah, so really nice pattern, really nice book. She's got all her social media stuff on here, so I'll be going checking her out later. Got a funny feeling I might like her stuff. So I got that. In the parcel, I got this card, which is just a thank you card for your purchases, but it's kind of, again, vintage, which I love. Okay, all right. This could be a let's start this now one. I love this one, and it's by the company it's by is Annie B's Folk Art, and it's the pattern is called Channing Street, and it is, look at that. Oh my God, I love it so much. It's got a lot of red and pink in it, which again I like. And I also like the chickens down here. So chickens, yeah, the little chickens. There's lots of little animals down here. The phrase says, teach one to feel another's woe, to hide the fault I see, that mercy I to others show, that mercy show to me. Love it. It is, I don't know if I can see it. No, I can't see the pattern size. And it came included like a sticker for on the back of your framed work, but you can obviously fill that out and keep it in the plastic. And it's just got things like your fabric, your notes, the title, the designer, etc. What do we think? I love it. I kind of like, see this on the side, it kind of reminds me of like some really stately gates, you know, I don't know, like Buckingham Palace or something that are open for you, but I think it's actually trees. I think it's actually trees, but to me, when I look at it, every time I look at it, I think it's like a gates, like the heavenly gates kind of thing. So yeah, so there's that one, and I really, really like it and think it could be a very shortly started stitch. So there's that one. And then I got, and I've never purchased this designer before either, and this is Stacey Nash Primitives. And this one is called a Lydia Corker Sampler Sewing Roll. I was kind of starting to look for, because framing pieces of work, like I loved framed pieces of work, but they are expensive to do. And so I kind of would like to not just do framed works, because one, there's only so much space on the wall, but also, you know, just to be creative in creating some different things. So this is a sewing roll. I don't know whether I would do it as a sewing roll or whether I would actually get it framed, but you've got the option with it. So this one's got the date of 1803 on it, and this is it here. It is so nice. Real neutral colours. There's definitely no pink in this one. And it says on it, learn by the bee from each event to find some limit of life or profit to your mind, not living for not living for something, but you may draw from thence improvement for your virtue or your sense. Honey, like this life's events, will assuage and yield you sweets in your declining age. I don't know if that's actually a happy phrase. I might have to read a bit more. It's probably got it in the book somewhere on it. But yeah, so there's this one. This is actually, it's not that big a piece. It's 203 wide by 235 high. But yeah, so that's a Stacey Nash. And then we were apparently on a Stacey Nash thing. So this is by Stacey Nash Designs. And this is from the Animal Cracker series. I love animals. I love animals. I love soft toys. I'm a pretty girly, vintagey, likes cute stuff kind of person. So this is the from the Animal Cracker series, and this is Clementine. And look at that. It's in a dress. I don't know if it's a cat or a dog or what, but I love that it's in a dress. I think it's a cat. I'm presuming it's a cat. And then if you look on the back, I'm presuming there's instructions. See how you can make like a little pocket and you can put your scissors in there. I know there are others, and I know for the the Nashville markets, she released some more of these. So yeah, I love them. You could have like a little basket and just have these little animals just sitting in there. Great if you've got like grandkids or something like that and they come over, they want to play. You got this little basket of like different animals they can sit there and play without, you know, having a whole pile of noisy. Can you tell I don't have kids? But yeah, super cute, super cute. And then I think I mentioned earlier about Plum Street Samplers that I really like their stuff. And so of course I had to go buy another one of theirs, which this is the Christmas Mini Moon. So there's that, it's got the rabbit, he's got some holly there with him. This again is not a very big one. It's 73 wide by 83 high. Super cute though, like really cute. I'm trying not to get the glare. There we go. How cute is that? So yeah, so I love the colors of that. So that's in the pile. Now, this next one, love. This one, I think, would be perfect to stitch in winter. So winter in Australia starts June 1. So my intention is to get this all kitted up and be prepared for June 1, because it just feels like it's the perfect thing to stitch over winter. Now this one is by the Scarlet House. I've never purchased from the Scarlet House before either. So this is it here. I love it so much. Can you, yeah. What it says on it is, when the weather is hot, rainy or cold, I look at my chart and stitch as I'm told. The wind may howl, raindrops may fall, I'm in my own world and safe from it all. With colours of thread from every hue, it makes me happy, this much is true. I just love it. Oh my God. Oh. And it's not a huge, actually, it's a pretty wide, so it's 343 stitches wide and 445 high. But, oh my God, I love it so much. So that one's definitely a doer. Now, so all that stuff was from the Stitches Merchant. They, there was the little floss tag that they gave me. Again, vintagey stuff. Love it. I could have spent a lot more money at that website. A lot more money. I was restraining myself, something fierce. I think though, on reflection, and I may change my mind, but right at the moment, I'm thinking that I'm going to start this one soon, as in the next week. So possibly this one you will see some work on next floss tube. I think it will be this or the humming of the bees. I have to decide, which might come down to which colours I've got. This one's actually DMC colours with only a couple of gentle arts. So we'll see. But if I've got to wait, then I might start the humming of the bees. Yeah, so that's great site. Love it. What are my plans moving forward? Well, firstly, let me say that Fox and Rabbit, the fabric company, I'm on their Patreon, and they opened up their fabric of the month for like 24 hours one day this week or last week. I signed up for that in a flash. And I've had my first debit come out. So I'm not sure when, but I signed up for the fat quarter for neutrals. So I know they're in America at the moment, Brad and Karen. So hopefully by mid-April I should have got that. So maybe by the next video I will have that to show you. I also have a significant order coming from 123 Stitch. I do buy from them. And so for those who are in Australia, 123 Stitch, yes, it is an American website. And so it is in American dollars, and you've got your conversion to consider. But their postage is $4.99 US, no matter how much you order. It is flat rate of $4.99, and you get the stuff within about 3 weeks. So it does take a bit of time. But when I've done comparisons of pricing between some of the different websites, it's no more expensive going directly to 123 Stitch than to anywhere else. And they have just a massive array of stuff. Now, that said, A Stitch in Time and the Stitches Merchant, and I think it's called the Cruel Goblin as well. I haven't spent a lot of time on their website yet. I think with those 3 websites, they actually have a real lot. Like, there's a real variety there, especially of the type of ones, because I really like the samplers, the vintage stuff, all of that kind of stuff. They really have a lot of that. I think the difference, and probably where I would go to 123 Stitch, is all their fabrics. They would have more patterns as well, if I'm honest. So especially if you're looking for something specific and you can't find it, I would go check out 123 Stitch. But their fabrics as well. So I did do an order like a week ago. So it's probably about 2 weeks away. So hopefully I might actually wait till I do the next floss tube till I've got it. But it's 4 pieces of fabric by Picture This Plus. I think that's what they're called. And I know I got the gingerbread colour. I know I got Legacy. Can't remember the 2 other colours, but they're kind of the neutral kind of colours. I'm not really big on the colourful backgrounds because, as you can see from the stuff I like, it's kind of all the samplers, and I really like that crispness and all of that. The gingerbread one though is a darker colour, so I'll be interested to see what I end up stitching on that one. But yeah, so I think so that's coming. We've got in Australia on Facebook a D-Stash website group. I have actually done a couple of purchases on them, still waiting for them to come. I feel like one is, can't remember, but they're both samplers. The patterns are both samplers. I think though I am going to start this one next. Let's go for this one, because this one talks about being hot, and it is going to be stinking hot here this week, and it's going to be like 105 Fahrenheit. So I might sit down and actually have a look which one I've got, the material for, which one, if I've got the material for either, and if so, whether I've got the colours. I wouldn't have all the colours, I don't think, but I might have some of them to at least start. But yeah, so next time that I do the floss tube, I should have my fabrics from at least 123 Stitch, maybe from Fox and Rabbit as well. I should have a second start, so a start on something to show you, as well as my Modern Folk embroidery one. And I think actually I might start one of the littles over the next couple of weeks as well. So I'll probably do a couple of starts, which is very unlike me, but I'm all about it right now. So I think that's it for today's floss tube. I hope that I did not bore the pants off everybody. I hope you like seeing the patterns I've got. I'm sure, I kind of suspect by the time the next floss tube I'd have more patterns. Like you keep reading it, right? Like you don't just cross stitch, you collect. It's a combination. There's two hobbies we've got going on here. But yeah, so I really hope everyone enjoyed the video. I hope you're keen for me to come back again. Please, you know, if this interests you, please like, subscribe to it, all that good stuff. Leave comments. I really want to chat to people, right? Like, because I don't have really any friend. I've got one friend who cross stitches, and we kind of occasionally message via SMS, but we haven't had contact for years. So I said to her the other day, we need to do a stitching day, but I don't know that's where her priorities are at the moment. So, you know, I'm super keen to actually become more involved in the floss tube community. So, yes, but that is it. I think I need to clean this all up because I am actually in my office and I work from home and we're working in the morning. So, and I need to go to bed before too late. So have a good rest of the week, and I hope everyone has a good weekend. It is a long weekend for a lot of Australia. So Australians, if you've got a long weekend, have a good one. And I will see you at the next floss tube. Thanks all. Bye.